Cross-examination, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. James.
Good morning.
Now, you were the only bartender at Chuggy's that night, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And you would agree that that evening, because of the Chatterbox show, Chuggy's was pretty busy, correct?
Oh, yes, it was. It was quite packed.
In fact, you would equate it to a crowd like New Year's, right?
Yes, it was.
Now, I want to talk to you about your profession as a bartender, okay?
Okay.
Now, you would agree that usually when you make stronger drinks, your customers tip you better, right?
Yes, that's correct.
In fact, people in your field would call this a gulp to green correlation, right?
Yep, you got that right.
Now, you've served Mr. Dawson for quite some time, right?
I have.
You've been friends with him for quite some time.
Yes.
And you would consider Mr. Dawson part of your steady income, as you would describe it?
Yes, he was. He was a very good tipper.
In fact, in the time that you've known Mr. Dawson, he's tipped you over $2,000, correct?
That seems about right over the last 2 years.
Okay, now I want to talk to you about September 24th, 2010. Now, you mentioned that you were pouring drinks for Mr. Dawson, correct?
Yes, I did.
You were pouring drinks for the group he was with, right?
Yes.
However, you weren't with Mr. Dawson the whole night, right?
No, I wasn't. I was stuck behind the wheel.
And as you said before, it was very busy that evening, correct?
Yes.
But you did see Mr. Dawson at one point during that evening, right?
Well, I saw him multiple times throughout the evening, but which time are you talking about?
Well, the specific time of when he was trying to get darts from you.
Oh, yes, that's a danger to everyone in the bar. He can't throw straight.
Right, so when Danny came up to you and asked you for darts, you took them away, right?
Yes, I did.
And he said something to you about the dartboard moving?
Yeah, he's clumsy. Like I said, even in softball, he can't hit, he can't throw.
Well, regardless of how he is as an athlete. He did mention to you that he saw the dartboard moving?
Yeah, he joked about that.
And, Ms. James, the dartboard wasn't moving, right?
No.
Now, I want to talk to you about Danny and his tipping. Permission to approach opposing counsel? Permission to approach the witness with prosecution 1 and 2?
Go ahead, counsel.
Jordan, I just handed you what's been marked as prosecution 1 and prosecution 2. They're both in the same folder. Could you tell us what they are?
They are Danny's bar tabs from the night of September 24th, 2010.
And is this regularly how you keep track of how many drinks you serve to people?
Well, those are the drinks that they purchase, both for themselves or for other customers. Complimentary drinks aren't included in here, but everything that they buy, yes, we do put on here.
And that's standard procedure at Chuggy's for you to make receipts like this, right?
Yes, of course.
And you personally make receipts like this, correct?
Yes, I do.
And this specific receipt was made during the regular business hours of Chuggy's, correct?
Yes, it was.
And these were both created on September 24th, 2010, the night Vanessa Sullivan died?
That is correct.
Your Honor, at this time I would like to move prosecution 1 and 2 into evidence.
Any objections? Yes, Your Honor, as to hearsay. May be heard?
Yes.
Ms. James is not the custodian of these documents. She's merely a bartender.
Your Honor, as a bartender, Ms. James has the authority to create these receipts. She has, in fact, testified that she does create these receipts on a regular basis. Furthermore, with relation to the hearsay objection, this does fall under an exception of regularly conducted business activities, and sufficient foundation has been laid to prove that this is, in fact, a regularly conducted business record.
Objection overruled will come to evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, I want to direct your attention to that first receipt, okay? Now, there are 3 whiskey and ginger ales on that first receipt, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And then an iron IPA, which is a beer, correct?
Yes, that's true.
And now if you could direct your attention to the second receipt.
Okay.
Now, on that second receipt, this is from the later part of the evening, right?
Yes.
Okay. So on that receipt, there are 10 screwdrivers, right?
Yes, there are.
There's 1 whiskey.
Yes,
There are 2 lemon drop shots,
that's correct.
1 Midlands Brown, which is also a beer,
Yes,
as well as a tequila sunrise.
that's correct.
And at both of those receipts, there's a signature from Mr. Dawson, correct? Or his name.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, at both of those receipts, Danny Dawson left you some tips, right? Could you read those out loud to the court, please?
That's true. On the first one, he left me a $4 tip. And then on the second one, he left me a $20 tip.
So throughout September 24th, 2010, he left you $24 in tips, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And as he was signing these receipts for you, he said something to you, right?
Yes, he did.
He said, "Thanks for pouring them long and strong," right?
Yes, he did.
Now, as you said before, you've known Mr. Dawson for a while.
I did almost 2 years now.
You've served Mr. Dawson for a while as well.
Yes.
And you like to prepare Danny Dawson's drinks with twice the amount of liquor than the average drink, correct?
Yes. In Chuggies, we have a tendency to water down our drinks per the owner's orders. So Danny likes his drinks like you would find in any other bar.
In regards to that, you characterize it as twice the amount of liquor than the average drink.
Yes, it is twice the amount of alcohol as an average drink at Chuggies.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor. Oh, permission to approach and tender the document to the bench. Actually, could you just pass it over? Sorry. Thank you, Your Honor. Pending no redirect, may this witness step down?
Brief redirect, Your Honor.